introduce to you Amy Berger, and I'm so excited to talk with her. She is a nutritionist, and I just heard someone in tears say that you are the voice of reason. So tell me, why did she say that?
Well, I try to be the voice of reason. You know, I've recently, on my YouTube channel, Tuit Nutrition, I've coined the phrase keto without the crazy, because I've been eating some version of a low carb or ketogenic diet for over 10 years, almost 15 years now, and the amount of complication and craziness and difficulty that's in the keto world now never used to exist. When I was new to this, you couldn't measure your blood ketones, you couldn't measure your breath ketones, there was no such thing as macros. All you had to do was eat very, very low carbohydrate. That was it.
Right.
There was
Super
no
simple.
Yeah. And that's still to this day, that's what the most effective thing is. And you know, in individual cases, you might have to dig into the details, but for the most part, most people are going to get the vast majority of their results just eating a very, very low carb diet. Whether or not you have elevated ketones or not, whether or not all your food is organic or not, whether or not you're doing coconut oil, most of that stuff honestly doesn't matter as long as your diet is really, really low in carbs.
Yeah. Now my doctor says the same thing for me, and she recommended when I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes that I switched to a very low carb diet, and I didn't find it difficult at all.
Yeah.
So you were talking to me earlier about Alzheimer's, and I've heard the expression type 3 diabetes. Can you talk about that? Do you have a book about that, or what are you doing?
Yeah. Thank you for asking. So I am the author of the book, The Alzheimer's Antidote. You can find that on Amazon, The Alzheimer's Antidote. And it is because they call Alzheimer's disease type 3 diabetes, or diabetes of the brain. And where that comes from is that the primary malfunction in the brain of somebody with Alzheimer's is that neurons, the cells in affected areas of the brain, lose the ability to metabolize glucose. So they're basically starving to death. Alzheimer's disease is a metabolic problem. It is a fuel shortage or an energy shortage in the brain, specifically because the brain is not metabolizing glucose. And the beauty is that people with Alzheimer's, even though they can't metabolize glucose properly, the brain can still metabolize ketones. And so it's not a slam dunk for everybody. It's not a cure for Alzheimer's by any means, but in my opinion, it's the most promising, most encouraging intervention we have for this disease right now.
Wow, and it's not a drug, and it's easy for everyone to do.
You just have to go to the store and buy food. You might have to buy food that's very different from the food you're buying now, but it's a low carb ketogenic diet in order to fuel the brain with ketones instead of with glucose.
Thank you. Well, that's so exciting that we can find some relief for people. So where can people find you? I know you're active on Twitter, is that right?
Yeah, so my Twitter handle is Tuit Nutrition, Tuit Nutrition, and my blog, my website is tuitnutrition.com.
All right.
So find me there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Take care.